This interview was conducted at the 2016 Connecticut Legal Conference with Massachusetts attorney Bob Ambrogi, who has covered technology for more than 2 decades and who writes the Ambrogi on Tech column for the American Bar Association Journal. Our first question is, what do you see as the most important trends in legal technology today?
One of the most important trends in legal technology over the last couple of years has been the widespread adoption by lawyers of law practice management software. It's something that's been around for years, but it hadn't really been widely used. In the last couple of years, we've seen a huge adoption of that, largely because of lawyers moving to the cloud and the availability of cloud-based practice management platforms. So that's been one. Something else I'm really interested in that I've been following a lot over the last couple of years is the growth of analytics in legal technology. The ability to take kind of information that was already available in electronic form to lawyers, but apply analytics to it in a way that gives you kind of new intelligence into matters. And a good example of this is court analytics, where for a few years now anyway, court records have been online. Now there are companies that are going in and extracting all of this information so they can tell you things like how often a judge rules a certain way on a certain type of case, or how well a certain kind of law firm does on a certain type of matter. And you can get a lot of intelligence that's not just available through a traditional legal research service. So I think that's really interesting.
Connecticut is among the states that have adopted the so-called duty of technology competence for lawyers. What do you think this means for practicing lawyers?
Yeah, over the last couple of years, about 20 states have now adopted this duty of technology competence. It came out of the American Bar Association, a special commission that was appointed to look at kind of the future of law and the current state of law and how that interplayed with the ethics rules for lawyers. And one of the things they recommended was this idea that there should be a duty, lawyers should have a duty to be competent in technology, not just in the law and the practice. It's an extremely significant trend. Because the fact of the matter is a lot of lawyers are not very competent in technology, and there's been a couple of cases already that have come down that have kind of pushed just how serious this is, I think. One case in particular dealt with e-discovery, which is an area that a lot of lawyers don't understand anyway. And this case is basically saying that any lawyer who goes into a courtroom needs to be competent in e-discovery or associate with somebody who's competent in e-discovery. I think very few lawyers really understand the extent of this duty and what it means, and so it's an incredibly important trend. It's a real sea change, I think, in the profession, and we kind of have to wait and see how it's going to play out over the next few years.
You're speaking at the Connecticut Legal Conference on cool new tools for lawyers. Can you share a couple of these?
Yeah, I'm going to be talking about actually we can talk about 30 different things in my presentation today, but a variety of different things. I'm going to be talking about a legal research service called CaseText. It's a free legal research service that's trying to use crowdsourcing to build out the database of material it has available to users. People know Wikipedia, which is a crowdsourced dictionary. And CaseText is a site that's trying to bring that into law and let its users and its readers and the lawyers who are using it kind of build out the materials on the site. It's a really interesting site, and it's worth checking out. Something else I'm going to do some show and tell here. This is a little scanner. I don't know if you can see this. This is called the ScanSnap iX100. This has actually been around for about a year, but they've just this week announced an upgrade to this that lets you use this to scan right up into the cloud, a Dropbox or Box or whatever you might use. You don't even need to have a computer, a mobile device, anything. Just have this scanner. So it's great for lawyers who are going to conferences, in the courtroom, somewhere like that, who just need to be able to scan to the cloud. So that's another one, and plenty more during my presentation.